my team at work know where I am, and my family know where I am. So if this is a bust, you'd never have to put it out. Okay?
Okay, that's his first statement. Here's my first statement. This guy has already claimed that he can't get past a level 7 in a good conversation.
Oh yeah, no.
He is a 7 across the board. Like, he knows a lot of 7s he can get, but like he can't raise his game to an 8, 9, or 10 in any topic on the planet. Just can't be true.
I,
If he
I'm
goes to
willing
level,
to say that that's pretty close. I know a little bit about a lot of subjects.
Isn't that fun though? Isn't it fun to live that life?
Oh man, it's great.
To just carry curiosity with you everywhere
Yes.
you go.
It's a delight.
I walked in here, you're asking him about what's on his board. That's some nerd stuff, man. We take great honor in inviting a fellow nerd into the space.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, that's the thing is that I think my nerd status is in question because I don't delve too far. I don't delve far enough into anything.
How do your girls feel about it? Do they claim that you're a nerd?
Oh yeah, there's no question
Good.
with the girls.
I don't doubt your girls one
I'm a
bit.
nerd. Yeah, all three would.
I did do some research today because I ran into Kim.
Oh my.
Michael Wood was signing for football.
Yes.
So we gave hugs and ate cookies, and then I saw Kim and we started talking.
Yeah.
I got all the material I need.
Okay.
that's your research for the day. Yeah.
Wherever this hour may go now.
So if you weren't nervous already, you need to be. I'm just kidding. Let's just start with, how do you know Matt and I?
I know Matt because he coached my daughter. We may have shaken hands before
Sure, we have.
an hour ago, but that's about probably as much as we've interacted.
Yeah,
would
probably.
imagine.
Yeah.
But you've had daughters in his class?
In his class, and when he was working with the basketball program,
Yeah.
AC was coached up
Man, how long ago was
by
that?
Matt.
She's a senior now. She was a.
I'm not. I know the
Oh, yeah.
answer to the
Yeah, okay.
question. You big.
All right. All right.
Oh,
my big
word.
what?
I was gonna say dork, but I usually don't use that word anymore. Just feels weird coming
That's
out.
a great word.
No, it's not.
Okay.
3 years ago.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I think I was there.
You
I was-
were
I was-
there.
I was
You
a part
were.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were
part of it.
definitely there.
Well, don't ask.
I recruited Matt for a year and he stayed for 2. See, that's the kind of guy he is.
Yes.
How you know
Yes,
me?
indeed.
Hold on, Matt. How does Robb Blackaby know me?
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be a basketball story. Is
Is
it
it?
a basketball story?
Because Robb was a baller back in the day. Is that
That's
what you're
right.
saying?
That's right. I took him to town. No, I played JV soccer at Lee, which didn't afford me a lot because I wasn't very good at soccer, but it did get me into the athletes'
Hey, we don't
dorm.
deflect around here.
So I was in the same dorm with him because he was a real athlete. And so
We're not going to let him say he's a not real athlete. We're going to let him say he was an unreal athlete
Unreal.
because he still plays now.
I do still play.
You do.
I
You still go head down to Chattanooga, don't you?
I've got to sign up for spring league now. I still have the link. in
I
the
bet he
text.
could talk ball to a 10. I bet he could talk soccer to a 10.
I could. I mean, sports. I can push just about any right now. Not as much now.
Let's talk soccer. Who you follow across the pond?
Oh well, here's the thing: is I'm going to sound like a fair weather fan because I'm a Manchester United fan. Except it's not been fair weather for Manchester United for several years because they're not doing well until the last month.
I think that would only be bad if you were like, yeah, I used to be a City fan. Now I'm a
Yeah, that would be
okay.
bad.
Don't do that.
It just kind of So
Yeah, but that is a European team.
Well,
How
that's
in
my-
the world does a kid, I don't know, how do you become a fan of someone in another country?
well, that's a great point. Mainly because when we were growing up, soccer wasn't on any
It wasn't.
media outlet, etc. I mean, it really was. I mean, I came to Lee on the tail end of World Cup being in the U.S., which was huge. I had played about 4 years in high school. There wasn't all the club, all the academy stuff going on. So
That your
I-
daughter is involved in now?
that my daughter is
a
heavily
lot, isn't it?
involved in. It is, yes. It's the equivalent of AAU in basketball, but there was none of that. So I just played school ball and some pickup off season, and then came to Lee. I wrote an email. I wrote an email. It wasn't email. I wrote a real letter to Coach Bratcher and said, I play soccer and I'm going to Lee. Is there a place for me? And I don't hear for 6 months. And then finally he says, I'm creating a JV program. Would love to have you on it. And so he made space for me, so that was great. the way I become a Manchester United fan is my sister, who was a professor at Lee at the time, comes back with a Manchester United jersey from a
She
study
take the
abroad.
Cambridge trip? Yeah,
A study
absolutely.
abroad, yeah. So she came back with that, and since that's the jersey I had, that's the team I started following.
How about that? That's fun.
It is fun. And so that's how I get into Manchester United. And then,
So Ted Lasso in your life?
oh yeah, love Ted Lasso. Watched it all the way through once and started it a few other times. So
I've
Big
watched it
fan
3 or
of-
4 times. Ask Matt if he got all the way through.
have you not watched all of Ted Lasso?
I have not.
How you not get all the way through it?
Here's the thing about Ted Lasso is
know.
beyond like how much it's a lovable show. It's one of the best integrations of a sport with the medium of TV or film. Like a lot of them, it feels like shoehorned in. Oh, this is a love story that he's a coach or something, or they do a really good job of integrating the soccer into it, which is great because a lot of people are learning soccer from it. It would appear.
I am in, yes, me. I learned a lot from coaching my boys in Upward, but I wanted to get a clue because Sarah came to Lee to play basketball, but also got an offer to play soccer as well. And she picked one. She picked basketball. So she was already a soccer family. So when we had kids, I was all about like, let's go do some Little League baseball. She's like, let's put him in soccer. And soccer won, and I'm glad it did because, I mean, we still love it today. But I'd love for you to make Matt answer why he hasn't got through Ted Lasso because Ted Lasso is that good.
Well, you're saying I haven't got through it. Like I'm never going to get through it. I feel like I will.
The last time I brought it up, have you got any further?
Yeah, I think I went back and watched an episode or two.
Oh, man.
But I've watched a lot of like I'm doing some bucket list stuff, man. I just finished The Sopranos, and we are halfway through Godfather 2, which I have
Never in your life?
I've seen bits and pieces
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
huge. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, we sat down the other night and watched one all the way through, and both of us really enjoyed it. And we sat
Valerie's
down.
loving it.
We sat down a couple
getting
nights
ideas?
later. She don't
Organized
hate
crime?
it. She likes it. Okay.
Yeah.
We sat down a couple nights later, and we just sat down at the wrong time. And I'm never the one that I could. Of all the times that poster could fall.
Yep, right now.
I'm never the one that can't stay awake. I feel like I could stay awake for 48 hours if it's good. But there's certain times of the day and certain times of the week that I just can't. And this was one of those times, and I said, I just can't right now. So we pressed pause. We're going to go back. But
Two is great.
There's a
I'm
third
working
one.
on some big items television-wise. I'll get back to Ted. I like Ted.
I love it that you said bucket list shows.
I mean,
Bucket
the-
list sometimes
the two
means
things
you're
I
going to go
just
climb a
named-
mountain or like go whitewater rafting.
The two things that I just named are at the top of many lists.
Yeah.
So maybe bucket list is the wrong way, but I'm not. I just, hey, what do I have to see if I'm going to be a TV watcher? What are some things I have to see that I have not seen?
Lost. Thanks, Rob, for laughing.
I haven't saw.
You're not going to go back and watch Lost. Rob, what are y'all watching at your house? Anything?
No, not very.
Do y'all
Now that
watch
the Olympics
anything?
are over, we got to figure out what to
Okay.
watch now.
Y'all been
'cause
watching?
That was on. Whether we're actually sitting down to watch it or not, it's on, and people are kind of rotating in.
Yeah.
If around.
Are y'all watching
chores.
figure skating? Y'all watching hockey?
We're
Y'all
watching it all.
every
Whatever's
bit?
on. We watched whatever the evening was. The program that was in the evening, and then we would catch a few, on demand stuff. It's really interesting how all the critics didn't like what NBC did, but I felt like it did. It accomplished its goal of us getting to see Olympics. So
So the World Cup is coming to America.
Yeah,
next
it
year,
is.
And the Olympics is coming to LA in 28. Either one of y'all gonna pay the
we have been
lump
looking.
sum of at least consider going to just I mean, that's a bucket list thing, World Cup or
Yeah.
the Olympics. What do you think?
So what we've talked about, I keep talking over y'all, and I apologize about that.
No,
I'm
it's all
excited
about
to
you,
be
buddy.
here. What we talked about with the World Cup is we are watching the various trends as far as ticket prices.
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is if there's a Liverpool supporters bar or eating establishment in Atlanta, we want to go there to watch a
fun.
game, right?
Yeah.
Like a game day activity that's in Atlanta, like this one that's going to be at Mercedes. We want to find a place that's a real soccer place to watch it as a way to kind of take in some of that. So we're not averse to shelling out for a ticket or the tickets, but if that doesn't present itself, we
I
want to.
really like that idea.
We want to do something.
I did that
akin
on
to
accident in D.C. I took a trip, went to a conference. I was walking around because I had some time. I stopped at a pub and got some lunch, and then all of a sudden, here comes all these people. And I've got this next session to go to, but this is the Leeds pub.
Yes.
And they all showed up, and I stayed. And I
Leeds are
skipped a
pretty
session.
rabid. Those are rabid fans.
It was fun.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I may steal your idea.
Yeah, definitely Atlanta. We're looking for when those times are for Mercedes. I'm not sure if anything might be in driving distance for just that experience, but yeah, we definitely want to do something like that.
The Olympics, 28, L.A.
The Olympics they're too far away right now for us to kind of register practical, but again, we lose track of all other TV when Summer Olympics are on, regardless. So definitely we'll be tracking what's going on in LA by then.
Would you and Val consider doing something like that?
No.
None whatsoever.
No.
You just want to go see those big trees.
I do want to go see the big trees.
So you're out in California. The Olympics are going on. Trees.
Trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid that. I'm gonna avoid those people. I've
I
never
love
been to
crowds,
Riverbend,
Rob.
man.
I love crowds. Not so much.
You ever been to Riverbend?
I have not.
Mostly on the Christian music night, but yes, I've been to Riverbend. I've
I've been to J-Fest.
There's been
Does
a
that
lot
count?
of people at Riverbend that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Had the opportunity, the ability.
Okay, so why? Why not?
No, I just didn't. I just don't want to go down there.
You like crowds, Rob?
I
Like, do you love
like that. Yes.
mingling amongst the people?
Yeah. So sports and music are big parts of my life, and they are for very similar reasons.
Every once in a while, Matt just starts singing. So instead of saying something, he'll just sing that lyric.
Well,
Do you have that in you?
yes. Well, I also.
Whoa, hey. Okay.
I mean, here's
Flip it
the
on
thing
us.
about music lyrics is there are things in this world that we can't put into prose. We can't put into talking. We can't rationalize it. But music, whether it be music without words or a lyric that connotes that idea that we can't verbalize, yeah, totally. There's often things, emotions, feelings that I can't express otherwise. So no, I totally get why you would sing
You
a
have
lyric.
to respond to that.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting
Matt's my
here.
music man. Just so
I'm,
you know.
I'm sitting here. This guy's saying he can't go to a 7 on any topic.
We're already at 11.
We've just finished talking about Manchester and Leeds and all, and I'm like, nope, I don't know. And now we're talking music, and he goes straight to the conveying of emotions and things he can't say. Yeah, it's speaking my language.
Yeah, you live that life, don't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So how did music become such a big deal?
Well,
Is that a family
initially,
thing or is that an individual thing? Is that a discovery?
it's
or?
a family thing, but nobody engages it. Maybe my sister does as closely as anyone as to how I engage in music. So obviously, growing up in church, music was a big deal in church. I guess that may not be
Church of
obvious.
God kid?
Church of God kid, yes. And then in college and then in seminary, I was in bands. Started playing in bands, and what that exposed me to was not only what it means to be in the moment. Again, this is the crowd part for me. Mm-hmm. Being in that moment, like I can listen to a record. I would rather hear the record before I hear the live album initially. But really what music is to me is that moment that you're either in the audience or you're playing, but that moment they're sharing together, which is similar to me as, you know, there are those kind of moments in preaching when you realize we're all together here, but it's not because of my oratory skills. It's because there's something beyond any individual that has caught us up. Mm-hmm. And that happens in music for me. It can happen in any concert. I believe there is something about all that because there is, for me, a resonance with the divinity and we're made in the divine image. So sometimes people don't even know they're getting really close to that in those moments. Sometimes they do, right? Sometimes it is they sense that and can discern that. And then there's other times they don't even recognize it, but it's so human to be expressive creatively, like as music opens that ability for us to do, or that opportunity for us to do. And so I believe there's often spiritual or divine moments in music that nobody really realizes what's happening until after the fact, or they are given that language later, you know, by church or by being with other brothers and sisters in Christ, and they discern it then, you know, after the fact. Well, that was happening there, you know, kind of thing. So that was music for me.
Hold on, you play anything?
I play bass still at church, and I play guitar at home. I will play.
So you got calluses?
Not anymore. I don't
playing
play
as much?
enough. Yeah, I just don't.
Was there ever a younger Rob that saw himself as a rock star?
Oh yeah, totally.
You
Well,
didn't even
I say it's
hesitate.
younger. I say it's younger, but it was post undergrad. Like I really,
Okay.
I got into a really, like we were all, like everybody was much better than me. So
Who's
the
your
re-
everybody? Do we know any of these names? Who are you hanging out with back in the day when you're playing?
So when I played with Joel Clackham. You remember Joel
What's the last name again?
Clackham? He was the
I don't know
front
if I
man. These guys were all younger
you have a
than us.
band?
Yeah, we were in a band.
And we need a name.
Poor.
Or
And so, really, the reason I got to be in the band is because the bass player before me was a better guitar player than he was bass player. And so they moved him to guitar and just put me on bass. And I really just kind of flubbed my way through it because they were so good, they all could carry it, and I just stood up there with the bass.
Matt, what do all these people that he used to hang out with, how do they describe Rob on the bass? The way he just did?
No, probably not. They're not.
Probably
no,
not.
No.
Probably not, Rob.
So
Well,
all these
I
guys
guess
are about
we'll-
4 years younger than us, except for Joel. Joel was at Lee with us, but these all came later.
Yeah.
All
So
the-
how
all
long
the-
did y'all play? Did y'all like tour locally?
Yeah,
Or
so
did
we
you
went
record
from
anything?
Atlanta to.
Are you Adam Ferguson and I don't even know it?
No, no, no.
Do you know Adam Ferguson?
No.
Okay, so principal, Oak Grove, but teacher with us for quite some time.
I know. the
Walker
name,
Valley,
yeah.
Ocoee, yeah. But, you know, we sat down with him in his office at Oak Grove, and he started telling us stories about being a rocker. I didn't see this coming, Rob.
No, I don't. It's not something I visit very often either. But we did it. We played all the way from Atlanta to Miami.
You got some good hair going
Miami
on right
of
now. Did you
Ohio.
have hair going on back then?
Oh, it was no longer than this.
No,
So
still fluffy.
yeah, it was a fluffy.
Yeah,
So
had the look.
but they recorded the album right before I came in. So they had and then we toured on that album for a year, and then,
We talking like the South, the East Coast, or like coast to coast?
no, regional. Again, Ohio, we played one gig in Ohio, which was
Of course, it's a pipeline to Lee University, so you have to travel the Ohio.
well, it was another alum that he was doing campus ministries, I think, for Miami of Ohio,
Yeah.
the university. And so he got us we opened for Michael Knott, who, if you know Christian rock, is a huge dude in a really underground Christian music scene. So that was really cool. And then we did a bunch of youth group kind of things. And then we played a few venues in Chattanooga. And then one went to China to be a missionary. I went to an internship because I was in seminary to staff pastor in Knoxville. So we kind of all ended up, right when things were going well in Chattanooga, we kind of ended up going different ways. So
Do your three girls know all this?
probably not to this detail.
Man, they need to. They need to. But Kim knows this guy?
Kim, yes.
Kim lived with this guy? Kim fell in love with this guy?
Oh, I was after the Kim the Rob that Kim knows is after this guy. Immediately after.
Pastor Rob?
Yeah,
She met
so
Pastor Rob.
when I went to the internship, I was doing all the pastoral stuff, so I really embraced.
But you pastored a church for a while, right?
Yeah, we pastored
How
together.
long we're at?
So I was staff pastor while I was wrapping up seminary after the internship, and then when we were dating, and then after we got married, I took a church in Nashville. So I was actually commuting back and forth to Nashville while she was finishing up her master's.
From Cleveland? Mm-hmm. So you'd go up there like on a Sunday?
So no, I drive up there Thursday. So I was teaching Tuesday, Thursday at Lee. So I would drive up after class on Thursday, and I would be there, visit people, hang out, and then come back either Monday evening to teach or Sunday evening after church.
It's quite a life.
So yeah, that was just like March to May. That was not very long. And then she was able to move up there after finishing up her semester here. She was also an RD, so that kept her in Cleveland.
What dorm?
At that time, Keeble.
Okay. Yeah, we know that life. Sarah and I,
Yeah.
second year of marriage, man. Hughes Hall.
Whoa.
Yeah, 96
Yikes.
freshman boys, second year of marriage.
Yeah, no.
If we
yeah.
had a do-over, I'd be like, well, I'm going to find a different way to pay for my master's. And it wasn't even bad, but it was just like, whoa. I mean, like, you just get married and, like, you just.
It's
you just figure it out.
24/7.
It is.
I mean, I can't imagine being with 96 boys.
Yeah, freshman
But
boys.
yeah, but like, there was a time, and these are all precious memories now, but like the water heater busted in an apartment. So like in the middle of the night, so we're called out. She's calling physical plant, and we're cooking breakfast for these girls. So they're,
That's what you do.
yeah, it's triage. It's triage cooking so, before they have to go off to class.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are great times.
My fun RD connection is when Sarah and I were in Carroll Court, our first year married. Phil Cook was our RD.
Well, there you go. Well, Phil Cook was my first RD
See, I mean, there you go.
at Atkins Ellis.
Crazy.
Did you come in 94 or 95?
Fall of 95. Pokey,
Okay.
right? Reese? Pokey.
I don't know that.
Yeah, the next guy. Who was the RD after Phil then?
Oh, I don't know. I was gone when Phil was gone. Phil was my RD.
Yeah.
So
Now he's your president.
now he's my president. Yes, indeed.
He knows you can jam on the bass. Do the people in your office know you can jam?
Oh, no.
And see, this is the kind of stuff we got to get out there in the
No,
world.
no,
This is
no.
why we're pushing
I
the
don't jam
chords.
anymore either. I remember I don't have any calluses. I don't play enough to, I mean, I would like to, but I just don't. It just is the time priorities. I don't get a chance to play anymore.
I feel like there should be like a faculty chapel band or
Well, at Lee, there would probably be about 5 people in line to play every instrument. And
That is true, isn't it?
yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's astounding because I mean,
lot
even
of talent.
a lot of talent, and the School of Music is incredible, but there's so much talent there that it would go beyond that as well.
We just wouldn't count them. They'd have to sit it out. We'd put them in the stands.
So
See who else came out of the woodwork.
every now and then, about once a decade is how it shakes out. Maybe once every 5 years, I get to put a jam together with some friends, and so that's always like, it's great, and it whets all of our appetite, and then we realize, oh wait, we have kids. We'll see each other in another half decade.
Buddy, in a half decade, your girls are gone.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the music career to really pick up, take off in 5 years. No,
What's life going to be like when AC is out of here and goes to UAH? First of all, tell me how proud you are. Tell me about that process a little bit, because we have got to walk this journey with you a bit. But like, what's that going to be like when she's gone?
so
This is your oldest. You're
yeah,
about to
this is my
graduate your
oldest.
We've been down this road.
She's put in a ton of work. Super proud of her through
Yeah.
all of it, and has really shown just a ton of maturity through that whole process. I mean, we all 3 of us went into it. Her mother and I and her really kind of just bug-eyed, just no idea what's going to happen. But she really kind of buckled under and figured out, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, and made some really mature decisions, made some really impressive moves, and so just really proud of her. Where she's going is going to be a great fit.
Going to Huntsville, she's going to be a rocket scientist.
Yeah, we're really excited. Well, yes.
She's going to be a
Perhaps.
rocket scientist?
No, she's not going to.
Okay.
She's going into
'Cause
healthcare stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a great fit. Soccer-wise, it's a great fit. Academically, I'm really excited for her.
Yeah, we are
What
too.
it's going to be this fall is we're preparing what we need to do to be there every other weekend to watch the 2 home games
Yeah.
that soccer will end up playing in Huntsville, and then figuring out what away games we can actually make for the GSC, the conference she'll be playing in. So she's actually playing here
At Lee.
at Lee.
Same conference.
Yeah, she'll be
That's really cool.
the first time in the home and away, she'll be away. So she'll actually come here to play Lee. So that'll be very cool.
It is, man. Because we lived that life with my niece at Tennessee Tech.
Right.
And so we would go, but I mean, Tracy and Ben were making that decision of like, are we going to go to Illinois to go watch a game?
Yes.
You know, where most of them end in like, 0-0 ties. But these Tennessee Tech girls have been winning, and they actually went to the big dance this year and got beat by Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
but it
well,
was
we watched
0-0
that
at the
game.
halftime. Oh man, it was so much fun, so rowdy.
Yes.
Yeah, excited for y'all.
Yeah, we're
You're gonna be
excited.
living that life.
Here's the thing about low scoring with soccer is
Are you going to defend it?
I am going to defend
Okay,
it.
you
If you loved, you may not have loved this. You might have hated this, but if you loved the Alabama LSU game that ended in what, 4-7 or 6-7?
Oh, the
whatever that
championship
was.
game?
Well, no, it was the regular season before the championship game.
It was
the
like
same
6-3
year.
or 9-6.
It
or
was
something.
crazy. Yeah, I don't know that nobody got a touchdown, so I don't
Yeah.
know how I don't remember how odd those numbers were. If you love that, well, there's as much scoring in the majority of soccer.
Yeah. Well, no,
So that's not a
yeah.
great defense.
As a football coach, do you appreciate those 9-6 battles?
I do, yeah.
Do you?
As long as the score's, as a spectator, as long as the score is close to the same, I don't care if it's 60 or 3 watching football. Same with soccer. I can totally watch soccer, and I don't need there to be a goal every 3 minutes.
I mean, another way that I think about this, which is a bit of a departure from the Alabama LSU metaphor, is if you get to see Messi, and he may not score, but he dribbles 3 people
Yes.
within 15 yards, then that's
Yeah.
worth the price of admission right
Yeah.
there. That could be a 0-0 game, but you saw Messi.
And those are grown men.
Yeah,
Those
right.
are some of the greatest athletes on the planet. And
Exactly.
this guy is making them look silly.
And so that's an extreme example, but there are always moments of really great skill that may not lead to a goal, and they may lead to a goal. But when you can catch that, when you recognize that, or when you're in the crowd with really great supporters. So I went to Kim took me to watch Manchester United when they came to Atlanta on their preseason tour. And 2 rows over from us was one of those associations. Like, it was the Manchester United, Atlanta Supporters Association. And it was probably, 30 people, 40 people all together. Like, in England, that would be the whole stadium, right? Is all rooting for them. But there, to listen to them, they had all the songs. Like it was so
That is
fun.
cool.
So, there are things, again, for me, as a sports fan, there are ancillary things to that being in the moment, right? I love watching sports on TV. I enjoy that. But when you get to be in a live event, it's a different, it's just a different vibe. You may not even care about the game, but there's just always really cool things going on. Often, I have been to kind of some downer games where the crowd's not into it, and you're like, what are we all doing here? Yeah. They're performing out there. We need to be with them. So.
I haven't been to a lot of competitive Tennessee games. I go for the cheaper tickets. Go with me on this. But I love being somewhere where there's 100,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
I love walking in with that many people. I love walking out with that many people. Not in a hurry. I mean, it's just, gosh, what an atmosphere.
Yeah. No, it's the truth.
And even if they're playing Louisiana Monroe, for the first, 6 minutes of the first quarter, it's just electric.
It is.
And then it's 70-7. It's like, oh, yeah, they scored again.
It's
but
true.
like, I don't know. It's just, I get that.
We.
You ain't getting that? No. Trees?
Oh, man, no.
Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I envy that a little bit, but I've never, I sat in kneeling with people in my lap watching Garth Brooks. And I remember thinking, like, God, this is pretty cool. But the whole time I'm thinking about how crowded I am and this person here and this one. You know what? If someone just had a heart attack, if someone just had a medical episode, it'd be a big deal. It'd be a big problem right now. Problem.
Do you think that way when you're in crowds?
Yeah. No, I'm
Can't
willing
relate
to
either one of
say.
you.
I'm willing
That's all
to
I
say.
thought about.
I do think about.
What happened to that whole explanation? You're
Very
just like the spirit is moving and you're in the moment. It doesn't matter if it's music or sports. And then all of a
I
sudden,
don't think
your
those
brain
are-
says,
I don't think those
"Man,
two
what
are-
if?"
I don't think those two.
Is that what happens?
Are, I mean, yeah.
I know that's
I'm
what
going to
happens
bounce
with this
back and
guy.
forth.
Are you the
Yeah.
guy that goes to a restaurant and can't have your back to the door? Are you that guy?
I do think about it, but I
You're
can
sitting next
sit
to
where I
one.
need to. I totally get that.
Does
Yeah.
it change if you're with your boys or if you're with your wife and daughters?
No.
No.
Really, here's the deal: is like
It doesn't
you're an
change for you
actual
either.
law
It does,
enforcement professional.
1000%.
I just read a lot of mystery novels, and so I understand the connotation of why
Yeah.
one should because of the various dramatic language I've read.
Yeah.
I have not really actually felt the danger enough to be there. So I get it, but not to that degree.
Well, you got detective over there where he just
Yes.
his spidey senses are just more sensitive than ours.
No, I do. I have had the moment in concerts where I thought, especially if it's like it's not general seating, like
When you're in the
we're all
mosh pit?
standing, yeah. Or like, man, if
Did
something
you say you had a
happened
mosh
right
pit? You been
now-
in
I'm
a
not
mosh pit?
moshing, but I have been in
You've
pits.
been in, haven't you?
So yeah, so
You
it's
done
like
some crowd surfing?
no, have I? No,
I love that.
I've been really close, so I've got to remember. No, I have not.
John Rubin, Christian rapper. You know that name at all?
I don't know.
He
That
came to Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're down there. And my guys from the dorm, as RD, picked me up.
Yes,
Toot, toot, toot,
that's
toot, toot.
awesome.
And what happened when I got to the end? Shaboom! Right on my back.
Like, God,
Guys, what's going on here? But it was something. It was something.
it's funny.
Why I haven't thought about that probably since 2001. Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. But I mean, even those kind of connections, like those memories and that being in that moment that's significant. It's significant for having opportunities to recognize. Discern sounds jargony to me, but to recognize our humanity, shared humanity together. I think concerts, sporting events too, because there are few things in life, when you're in the DMV, when you're in the line to get your license, maybe you're all there for the same purpose. But when you're at a concert or you're at a sporting event, even if it's the other teams, we're all there to support that sport. There's a camaraderie even in the rivalry, right? Mm-hmm. But then at a concert, you don't have that, right? There's this way in which you can get caught up in that moment. So often we are, as humans, on differing sides.
Can you get me to somewhere, sometime, someplace specific where you were taught this?
Oh, I just realized it. I mean, I don't know that I was taught it. I think I recognized
That's what I
it.
mean, is when you recognize it, when you
Sure.
learned this. And you may have learned this in a church setting and you then learned it again in a secular setting at a concert or something. But
Well, I certainly got the language from church.
sure,
right.
yeah.
Being in the altar or singing together in church, it's really easy to put your finger on that and say, this was a moment where we were all together in one place,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Acts 2 kind of thing, where they can identify that we were all together in one place. And I didn't realize till much later when sitting with other friends and we were talking about various concert experiences and also we were all theology nerds because we were in seminary. Let me just be honest. That's how these
You're
kind of
studying the
conversations.
sacred scriptures, man.
Right,
Don't you?
and so-
you're leaning on almost apologizing for that. Nah,
Right.
not-
So,
not
but
here,
I mean,
buddy.
this
Not
is
here.
this is where this vein of nerdiness comes from. We realized there were other moments like those church moments that we had in life, but we never knew how to articulate them before. And we would sitting in concert, man, I'll be honest with you, singing with Jason Isbell the first time I went to see Jason Isbell was it was one of the deepest moments of my life. And just being there, and then I look over and somebody else is singing those same words. And so that was really heavy. So I can tell you why that is. I can tell you why this is an
Please,
emotional moment.
because he's that guy for us as well.
So
We bring him up.
sister died 12 years ago of a pretty protracted disease, a time together. And my wife and I were with my mom and taking care of her along with my brothers. And, about 5 years later, I heard Elephant by Jason Isbell. And I resonated. I mean, I don't know that I've ever felt with a song like that. And it still is very close to me. And actually, that concert, I was getting ready to go to work or something, and it was on, and I just started crying. Like the week that he was going to play in Chattanooga, and I was not planning to go. And my wife, having realized this moment, surprised me with tickets day off. And so,
Well done, Kim.
yes, and we were standing there, and he's singing that in there, and we're singing and then there's however many are in the Tivoli, right? There's thousands of people, and we're there in that moment together. And maybe it's just me, but I don't think so. I think that's what music is. That, this person next to me who's singing, Kim's here. So this person next to me who's singing along with me, with Jason, they have a completely different life story as to why that's resonating.
But they have one.
But we're all resonating together, right? And that's where I can sit back now after the fact. I mean, I knew it then. I was old enough. I mean, it's been in the last 6 or 7 years. But I can say, there's something about what it means to be human, because realizing our humanity is divine. It's recognizing the divine in us, right? Recognizing the image of Christ that we bear, so yeah, that's where that comes from for me, and and I get not wanting to be in crowds, but I do think if I could just push back a little, maybe not on Neyland Stadium, but push back a little to say there are moments where we can't find our humanity except with others. And so, respectfully,
He
pushing back on
can
that.
handle the push. Keep pushing.
So,
Oh,
so
yeah,
so that's the music.
Anybody else on your playlist move you like that guy?
Like that?
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
Who else you listening to?
Right now, well, I'm listening.
Is your playlist pretty eclectic?
It is, and it's just the girls right now. It's like I'm trying to hear what they're listening to, so it's super.
Well, then we need to know that. What are we listening to? What's the Blackabys listening to?
It's Olivia Dean is a lot
Okay.
of Olivia Dean. The others I don't really remember. I just put it on. So
You into Daniel Caesar at all?
I'm not. Do I
You
need
know
to be?
this name?
Have you mentioned that, and that's why it's ringing a bell?
Well, the reason I brought it up is because it's the last thing in my music player, because people AC's age, Zach Davis specifically, has put me on this guy. He might be legit. He's not typically my cup of tea,
Yep.
but he's real. He's
I
real.
got something on my playlist.
I've heard enough to know that he's real. But that's why I was asking.
I'll plug it in. So the things that really moved me and that can still get to me are products of my age. This feels a bit like this is the musical version of Manchester United. Like U2 still is big now. That there's a lot of baggage with that, a lot of freight because they've lived long enough to collect that. But still, the earnestness of Rattle and Hum still can get me. So that's big.
They just came out with a new song. Christian Man sent me today. And
Today,
said, dude,
I knew something was
And I
coming. I
haven't
didn't know
even
how
listened-
fast.
have you listened?
No, I didn't know it was out
Okay.
yet.
all right. But I mean, it's amazing that you just said that, because that's what music does.
Yeah.
Now, later,
Yep.
here, there.
Nick Cave. I don't know if y'all know Nick Cave.
Cave?
Yes, as in the geological body. Nick Cave has been around forever, kind of underground. I don't know where he's from. I think it's Australia. I'm not sure, but he has had a spiritual experience. I don't know that he would call it getting saved, but he is Catholic now, I think, and so his lyrics are fascinating because it's not a repudiation of what it was before, but it's an integration of who that songwriter was and who he's becoming as a person now. Really, really interesting stuff there. So
Now, is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, is
that's
that the same
him.
Nick Cave?
That's him. Yeah.
Okay. You a
So-
Foy Vance guy? Foy Vance?
I don't know that name.
Oh, Rob, you got to know that name.
Yeah.
You
I'll-
Foy Vance?
Yeah,
I'll
from the
add-
boys.
That's
I'll,
Irish Jason Isbell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
top in the world at writing songs and yeah, entertains the masses. Just that dude and a guitar, 1,000,000 people. He could keep you busy for a while.
Well, and and as a music lover, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be that deep, as we have been sharing for me to.
Okay,
To
so then
enjoy
watch
music,
this. The other day I came across something, was unsure of who they were. So I texted my friends Matt Paris and Christian Mann and said, have y'all heard of this band, Blues? And because at first I thought they were AI, and they weren't. But let's go back to AI creating music. How do you feel about that? Like what you've just described, could artificial intelligence make music that would make you, Robb Blackaby, move?
Dance or emotionally.
Oh, okay.
be
Well,
moved?
no, that wasn't even what I was thinking. So yes.
When you say
to
move,
dance. Does that mean you're dancing as well?
Yeah, I'm probably. I'm not.
I mean, you're a church guy kid, man. It's in you.
Yeah, the thing about, I can go into like the non-critical, just enjoy the moment kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, do I recognize it as the same level of music that singer songwriter, someone is blood, sweat, and tears put into? No, it's never going to be that.
Is it? Not ever.
Never. No, not for me. I mean, if we're talking some kind of technological objectivity, maybe it is, but not for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not anti those things. I'm anti, copyright infringement. I'm anti, that kind of stuff. But I'm also not parsing it closely enough to be concerned about, if the music is great or not. In the elevator, I'm okay. You know what I mean?
Let's. You are a guy who sent me 2 AI articles
Yes.
in the last few months.
Yeah.
as we
Professionally,
interact.
it's a big deal.
Can we camp out there? Artificial intelligence.
Sure.
What's your relationship with AI right now?
Well,
Personally and professionally. Will you go there?
yeah. Well, that's pretty close to the same thing
Okay.
as far as AI goes.
Sure.
So a lot of what I do professionally is instructional design because I work for Lee Online. We're building courses, and our content is completely human-based. So if you were a Lee professor and we wanted to create your course on Lee Online, we would first negotiate that with you, and then we would sit and ask you to give us content. And so that would be contractually negotiated, and then you would give us content. So this is how I would talk about X subject. So the design part of that, we are trying to figure out the best ways to use AI. So we're pretty pro AI as far as formatting, design stuff, crafting the way that content would be delivered and viewed by students. But as far as like actually creating the content, that's not what we want at Lee. So.
Yeah. Personally, you're using AI for what? Beyond an AI overview of something you just looked up, because now that's what a Google search is.
Right.
But for you, and this may be, I'll throw this question out there, whether it fits or not just yet, but like, what are your creative outlets these days? And is it AI related at all?
No,
Okay.
nothing AI.
Him and I
related.
write, we will sit across from our laptop and treat it like an expert who doesn't know everything, but by golly knows a lot. And we will collaborate with AI with our thoughts for the day. And then we will go have our writing session independently. But by golly, man, it's just such a rich resource.
It is a rich resource and definitely something to be used, to be engaged, I think, in anything. I think I'm concerned about what it would mean if we don't, look at it on some level, certainly critically. But I don't think you can jettison everything, especially like you're saying with personal stuff. It is always fascinating what AI is doing and how it's coming back. Because I think, almost every week, like I bet if you took the same prompt over the next 10 weeks, you're going to get vastly different answers, not just because of all the things that they're saying, but just because of how quickly the technology is changing. And so I'm trying to
That
think.
is crazy.
It is
I just
crazy.
need that moment. That's taking the same prompt and getting a different response. Is that going to be we're going to go a different direction response, or do you think it's going to be richer, deeper response? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be richer and deeper. I think, I mean, and that comes from a lot of things. That comes from it's learning tone as well as content. AI. I mean, I hate to talk about it like it's one monolithic thing, but even with the competitors of the various AI products, you know, it's not only deepening its content, it's deepening its understanding of how to convey that content. So it's nowhere near as awkward as it was even a month ago or 2 months ago. It's getting much more natural in the way that it is engaged. In fact, you know, we were sitting at lunch. I was at a professional lunch today, and we were talking about how different products make it feel very conversational, right? It's not just answering a question. It's not just a Google search, but it's like, that's a really good question. I'm so glad you brought that up. And then goes into that same tone of answering the question. So it's really interesting how they're really trying to embody that personal assistant kind of vibe that you're pointing out.
It is very complimentary on ChatGPT.
Yes.
So I will
Well,
ask
yeah,
for,
I was not going to say,
No,
but
no.
that is the one they were using.
No, but I asked for candor. Hey, I don't need any fluff right now. Like, I put that in because I mean, like, if I want some actual feedback, I don't want to get through like, hey, thanks for the 4 compliments you just gave me, and then give me like, hey, let's go straight there, and it will,
Right.
to the best of its ability. Yeah. Let's say I'm AC Blackaby, and I come up to you and I say, hey, Dad, I'm headed off to school. AI. What should I allow myself? What should I consider getting myself into as a college student who is now on my own, making decisions for myself, and you won't be looking over my shoulder or asking me these questions? Give me some good advice to take with me to Huntsville.
So the way I would think about this kind of scenario, where it's very much college student oriented, is if your instructor doesn't bring it up on the syllabus day, then you need to ask that question. And then when they talk about specific activities that are to be turned in, papers, etc., if he or she doesn't address them, then that needs to be the first question. What are the parameters that you want us to use for artificial intelligence on this specific activity? How do you want us to use it in the class? Do you not want to use it? And press the instructor to be as specific as possible. Because, I mean, as open as we are about how we're using AI, I know my girls are using it every day. And a lot of, I mean, as far as I know, all of that is within the parameters that their instructors are setting here. And I've really appreciated the conversations we've had around AI at the house is, Miss So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so has told us to use it this way, so I'm using it this way, right, et cetera. Yeah. So, but I think, it's been my experience in the 3 years, was it December of 22 that ChatGPT came out?
Something like that.
Something like that. Everything's either 2 years or 10 years ago. I have to look everything up because it's either 2 years ago or it was 10 years ago. Anyway, in that small frame, so often colleges are still they're just wrestling with all of the questions around AI that they may not even know how to answer that question from that student unless the student presses them on that, because that's changing both policy-wise and in their own personal / professional way of engaging their content. So yeah, ask the instructor.
Would you say, hey, use Claude, use ChatGPT? Like, is there anything out there that you would tell her specifically to use or something not to use?
There's nothing I would say not to use. I would say Claude's going to probably be, right now, February going into March of 2026. Right now, Claude and Anthropic are probably going to be the best for academic engagement. But again, that can change next week.
Sure.
And that's the thing about all of the market papers. You get all of the magazines and all the journal articles. I mean, that really is a neck and neck race weekly.
Is that part of your reading for what you do?
It is. It is. I mean, I'm under we have a new session opening next week as far as Lee online classes. So when we get settled into that, so the end of next week, I'll pick up on all of my reading again. So right now I'm just getting classes ready. But yes, Yeah, that's a lot of the reading, at least skimming, but usually sitting down and kind of processing what those trade and
So here's my
professional
next one.
publications. Okay.
I'm a lead professor who has come into your office.
Yes.
Hey, Rob, do we have like a campus policy for AI yet? Because if we don't, what should I be telling students, in your professional opinion, of how we should be addressing AI, what we should be using it for, and what we shouldn't be using it for?
Well, that's going to be really specific based on the level the class is, based on the discipline the class is. It's and what you want, what the college wants, like as far as the learning outcomes, what the expected goal of the class is. So that's a really specific. So I would need to know what kind of professor's coming. Not that I'm asking for you to get more
Well, we've been having,
specific in your
remember,
in your
I'm taking a
hypothetical.
class at Lee these days, and I'm teaching a class these
Yes.
days, and it has brought, I mean, it's come up in the last 3 classes that I've taken of like, so in the education department specifically, like there's
Right.
not one policy that is driving how we're making these decisions.
Right.
And like, we're not the only campus, this keeps coming up as well.
Right.
Trying to, because it's so fluid, and it will be seemingly for quite some time.
Right.
I mean, like, this is a real challenge for us to be able to, because what Matt and I have said is we want kids to be able to navigate these waters. And I think we should be at the forefront as high school teachers to be able to navigate these waters with them, which means we've got to be getting our feet in the water and maybe wading out even further and swimming a bit and getting out into the deep. At least some of us,
Yeah, definitely.
not just our tech people,
Right.
but all of us, so that we
Right.
we can be able to because I mean this is the present and the future. It's not just the future.
No, it's the truth. And it's, I mean, I mean, I have a bunch of thoughts right here, so I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I often think about, I thought about this 10 years ago with online learning, and now I think about it now with AI. Is you, in like 1800, in 1900, 1910, you could make a really sweet horse carriage. But there was this thing called the car that was coming out. Right? And so you could make a Cadillac of a horse carriage. I don't know if I could say that. But you could make a really great horse carriage, but really where technology was going was to the car. And so I think, to your point about needing to be able to swim, we have to recognize and discern, again, is that word, how this is changing everything about what our vocation is, our task, right? Our career. And so, those can be really great horse-drawn carriages, but alongside the car, we have to be able to evolve into what this skill set is. So, and there are still people that build carriages, and they're beautiful, and we need them, right?
Do we need them?
Yeah, downtown. Right? Yeah, I
Give
don't
me
know.
one good reason that a wagon is needed.
Well,
You can't.
I can't. It's
I
true.
dare you.
Need
I
is a
challenge
strong
you.
word, but they're still very nice and they're still around. But this is a whole different skill set now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And so I think AI is that kind of turning point as well. And how we navigate that transition, again, to your point about swimming versus and going beyond where our students are, we have to be able to navigate that. But I would also say, and what I have seen with my daughters and what I think is going on a lot at Lee, in my experience, is that it is a challenge, but it's also an opportunity to press students to not think about the content of a class, but also the ethic of who we are in the middle of all that. Right? So what I have really enjoyed about these conversations at Lee is, instructors who are just taking a session, just taking an hour and saying, none of us know where we are. We none of us know where this is going. So let's just pause, teacher, let's have a conversation around what AI is at this moment and what that means for this content, the kind of professor I am, and the discipline that I'm exploring. So, and there's been some really cool moments where there's been some honesty between the instructor and the student in those things. And I know that happens here because the girls come home and tell me that those conversations are happening amongst faculty and students in classroom settings. And so, I don't want to not acknowledge those opportunities it provides. It doesn't negate the challenge. It doesn't even mitigate the challenge, but it does provide an opportunity to talk about the ethics of it in kind of real ways.
I got one more, and then Matt, you're going to bring this together because I know we got a time frame here.
Yeah, but don't jump off of AI.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I got one more.
So I've got a specific question I want to ask.
Okay, so I'll go, and then you bring it home. Okay, pastor. Okay. Come on, put your pastor hat on. You've lived so many lives, Rob.
It kind of has, hasn't it?
He has. This happens all the time. That's what I love when we do
I love it.
these. All right, Rob, you're in the pulpit again. Mm-hmm. Can you see that for yourself?
Yeah.
I love it even better than I'm asking this question.
I mean, I
Does Kim know whatever you're about to say?
know what I'm about to say right now.
Yeah, about being in the pulpit again.
I enjoy preaching.
Yeah.
It is a craft that I have enjoyed both practicing and observing, right? Just as a skill. So yeah, I can totally see myself in the pulpit. I am content not to pastor.
Yeah.
I am content where I am, and I am content not to pastor, but I do love preaching. So yes, I can see myself.
You know AI can craft some sermons for you.
I do know that, and I know that it does for a lot of people from all I have seen on various social media outlets.
But that music and that humanness, we want that in our sermons as well, don't we?
Well, I mean, here's what I would say about that, given the context of this conversation.
Will you add an element?
Yeah.
Okay. I also want you to be in the pulpit talking to your congregation about AI. What would you say to this generation who, you're spanning generations?
Yeah.
You've got your young people in front of you, and you've got the elderly crowd in front of you who are still living, quality of life is still there, but yet they're thinking, oh my word, here we go again.
Yes.
Right? Because every generation has their thing that they go, man, this is going to be at the detriment of my children and especially my grandchildren.
Yes.
So I'm asking for that. So that's now two things. Mm-hmm. And then Matt's got another one. All right, speak to that.
Yeah. So if you're in a concert and not everybody knows that they're in a moment, right? They may or may not discern it later, like we were talking earlier. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. But in church, and in that moment, whether it be the pulpit, whether it be the altar, whether it be singing, there's an intentionality to that's not always in any other place that we recognize, that we may come to recognize that we're in a moment, right? We come to church.
You didn't mention our Baptist Sunday school in that scenario.
I did not. No, I didn't mention anyone's Sunday school in that. But there, I believe the job of the coming together, not just of the preacher. Certainly it falls on the preacher to kind of navigate that in a different way, but the job of the church when they come together is to recognize the presence of God that's already among them. And that's more intentional than X concert or any other times we recognize our shared humanity. And so for that, then, that puts an onus on discerning our shared humanity in ways that we don't have to, or we don't. It just doesn't happen. So that's the context in which I would address AI as a preacher. And I would call the congregation to reflect with me about what that humanity means as the image of Christ. And from that foundation, then we would talk about what AI can and cannot do.
Is AI built in the image of man? And if man is built in the image of God, is there not any divinity in AI?
I know there's a lot
made
of
all that up
conversations.
just now.
No, there's a lot of conversations about that.
Yeah.
That I'm hearing of, but I'm not hearing the conversation.
Man, that's our next episode.
That's a heavy one. I mean, what I would say to that is,
If you have an answer right off the bat, great. And if
I mean,
not,
my initial is that, a lot of the content that those large language models are pulling from do not recognize or acknowledge or know how to articulate imago Dei kind of understandings of what life is. So it is if it acknowledges any of that, it's a very fragmented and marred sense of
I'll
that.
just put that prompt
of it all.
in 3 months from now and see what the
Yeah, there you
answer
go.
is
Let's see what happens.
then. Matt, what you got?
Well, you mentioned Claude earlier, and this is a more specific question. What do you make of Perplexity? Is this like a hub that carries multiple? Like, is it pulling from ChatGPT, Claude, multiple things? Is this something I need to be looking into?
Perplexity is really good. I hear a lot of my faculty colleagues recommend it. So yes, it's definitely something to look into. And it is it's not complex on the user experience. It is complex in the things it's pulling from, which I think yields a better result if we're just talking about baseline, what AI is doing. It can do some really groovy things because it is pulling from a myriad of things. But one of the interesting things, I was reading an article the other day about this.
Of course you were.
And what's interesting is how, on the free tier of so many, it's just one. But then when you pay, you can select what large language model it is. So like certain services are contracted with various of the ones we've named. And so you can just drop down and say, I want to use this model, whether it's Claude, whether it's ChatGPT, and which ChatGPT it is, because they're not retiring the old models as they advance. So it's interesting about how things are coming together, but then it's also capitalistic, so it's still managing a competition in that.
But there's some lanes being
Yes.
formed even as we speak. And
Right.
You mentioned, Claude, that's sort of a writing bot and academically a little
Right.
more astute. I think ChatGPT is probably trying to make its claim in the creative end. There are some that are like more nuts and boltsy.
Yes, much more code. Like if you're a coder or you're a developer, you want to be using X product. And then, you have things like Copilot, which is trying to be that personal assistant. Gemini does more than personal assistant, but it's trying to get into that market as well. In the ways that, we're all using ChatGPT on our phones to kind of help us think about things. But also, what's interesting is like Copilot at different tiers, it can access, and this does not scare me, it can access email, it can access calendar, so it can tell you what you're doing today, right?
Sure, yeah.
In that personal assistant way. So yeah, over against academic research or coding, like you're saying, or creativity, yeah.
Now, you said we're estimating ChatGPT to be 2022, somewhere in there. I know it's been, 12 months ago we were sitting here talking about hallucinations anytime we
Right.
talk about generative, I just lost a word. What is it?
Generative.
Generative AI, thank you. And it was, at that time, it was wild. Like
Right.
every other prompt was just throwing crazy stuff. And that's not necessarily the case. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. But me personally, as I observe myself, I've had this swell and this learning curve that I'm still in. But I'm at the point now where I've learned quite a bit, and I'm kind of recognizing what it is, what it isn't, what it is for me, what it isn't, what it shouldn't be. Are we going to get there, like, as a society? Because I feel I'm in high school every day.
Sure.
I think I'm looking back at some of these kids because they're like, oh, this thing can write my whole,
Right.
But I honestly do believe as learners, they're gonna recognize how silly it seems or how easy it is. I've had AI write a lot of stuff. Okay. And most of it I've never used. It just sits in a conversation but I've read it and I've just to see what it would sound like or what it would look like or how it would
Right.
structure it. And I accidentally learned a lot about how ChatGPT specifically writes things. So now it sticks out like a sore thumb to me all over the internet, all into the classroom, everywhere. You know, a kid will get up and read
Yes.
something, and it's the greatest thing you've ever heard. And I'm like, that's 1,000%. Like linguistically, I can tell you that is that is a straight out blatant ChatGPT thing. But I think even those people, whether they be in middle school, high school, college, I think they will get to a place where they go, yeah, 6 months ago I would have probably rocked with this, but now I realize how kind of ridiculous it is. Do they get there?
Students,
Everybody. Listen,
I don't know. Here's the thing.
I called out the students. Hang on.
Right.
We're in political season locally, and
Yes.
somebody sent a memo out and was like, hey, everybody that goes to Mix 104.1 to announce your candidacy, write a ChatGPT speech, and when Steve Hotline calls on you, begin to read from that ChatGPT speech. And it's embarrassing. I'm looking at all of you. It's embarrassing. Stop doing it. Speak to me like a human. But those
And look,
people,
he ain't kidding. Look at his face.
No, I believe it.
He's
those
not
people,
kidding at
it's the worst thing you've ever heard.
Right.
It's the worst thing. Like these are business people, successful people, and when they go to their speech,
that have the ability to write the speech for
It's
themselves, but yet
horrid.
are relying on that to do it.
it's horrid.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm asking is, those people are new AI users.
Yes.
I'm not ahead of anybody in anything, but I've been using this a minute. Those people are new. They going to come to that place where they go, all right, that thing I did on the radio 6 months ago, that was stupid, and I'll never do that again because they've learned.
Right. I think one way to answer that question is that we're producing as many people with the radar that you're demonstrating for that stuff. We're going to produce as many of them with the general use of AI as we are going to produce really bad copy for everything we read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's going to be like this social pressure for authenticity that's going to kind of, it's not really an arms race, but I think it'll grow up together with the AI. So what I do think AI is doing right now that's going to be a challenge to this specifically is that companies are recruiting people to write for them and to provide examples to talk, right? You know, so like you can always hear an AI voice and you know how it sounds because of the lilt and all of that. And I think in 6 months, AI, whether it be in text or whether it be verbally, even video, it's going to be a lot more natural. It's going to be a lot smoother. And so I think that's going to be a growing challenge, right? I don't think the syntax is going to be that much better, but I think the tone is going to be better, if that makes sense. So that it's going to sound, if you read it, it's going to sound like copy coming from ChatGPT. If you have it read to you by AI, it's going to become more and more natural.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be a challenge to what you're talking about. But I do think whether the system, you know, is rearing them or we as educators are rearing students, I think both of those things are happening. We're creating persons who are going to be critiquing and pointing out and calling out AI in that same way. And so I think it's going to be together now. So, you know, 1 month the AI is going to be better, and the next month we're all going to say, no, that was AI. Then the next month, wait a second, that's just a new wrinkle, but that's AI.
Yeah.
Right. And so yeah, I think it's going to be that way for a while. That challenge.
Man, I've had a good time talking to you.
Yeah, it's been great to get to know you. I have looked forward to this. My family loves you.
Well, I love
So
your
it's been
family.
great to get to
I
know
love
you
your
this
family.
hour.
Yeah.
And so that's been really cool. And of course, I've known Paul a long time
Yeah.
and will continue to. So it's great to always
Last
be with you.
observation.
Yeah.
Ready? Did you hear the rich vocabulary that Robb possesses?
It's
I
so
mean,
far
there's
above
8,
my
10,
head.
12 words that I'm going to have to look up,
Yeah, he's too smart for me.
but I got it in context. But somewhere in there, while we were talking about AI at a level 11, because it was definitely past 7, true? He
Yeah,
threw the
but
word
I would-
groovy in there.
He's like,
And
that's what I'm
it
saying.
just somehow fit along with all that other rich vocabulary.
Thanks.
I love that. Kept it human because that wasn't AI for sure. AI's not going to say groovy in the middle of all that.
Thanks.
Rob, you said yes to us. We appreciate it.
So glad to be here. Really appreciate the work y'all are doing. I join an austere list of guests. I'm very honored to be here. So really do appreciate the work y'all are doing with the podcast. And
You and the sheriff right here, man.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
that, but
That's how it
like
works.
that's the other thing about what technology generally and AI, like maintaining this level of connection with our community is, I mean, this is a great outlet for that.
Yeah,
it
it is.
It's vital for where we are societally today, right? To maintain that amongst all the various other outlets that are generic or bigger than the local community. So this is really great, and it's great to be a part of it.
Yeah. Love it.
Thank you, Rob. And we'd definitely love to talk to you some more.
Oh, I'd love to do it again anytime.
We could talk for 3 hours, but I'm
Yep.
on a time limit.
Thursdays,
today, and
this
I'm-
guy's
I'm
gotta get
running
outta
up
here.
on it. But thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Anything else to add, Paul?
No, man.
Got any shout outs you want to make?
I'm good.
We're doing shout outs like this is 90s radio. All right. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.